All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our book release. I am excited to share with you all today Flood Water, one of the latest and greatest publications from students at the University of Southern Mississippi's Institute on Disability Studies and Cow Tipping Press. It was really exciting for us at Cow Tipping to get to partner with folks in a whole different state and to reach a new geography across Zoom and space and time, and really a joy to work with all of these authors. For those of you who aren't as familiar with Cow Tipping Press, we are a Minnesota-based organization teaching and publishing creative writing by adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Our mission is to change the narrative on disability, so encouraging folks who don't normally get to engage with this community and aren't as familiar with the rich diversity and gifts and talents and creativity to have a chance to meet our authors both on the page and in person at events like this or on Zoom in events like this, and encouraging people to seek out inclusion in more spaces in our world. So, both in media and beyond. I'll turn it over to Jerry at the university to share a little bit more about their program. Jerry, did you make it back with us?
I don't think he made it back. I'll be glad to share a little bit. So I have loved being a part of this program this semester. We're looking forward to doing it again. I'm Beth Robertson, Transition Coordinator at the Institute for Disability Studies here in Long Beach, Mississippi, and we have a program called TOTAL, which is Transition of Teens to Adult Life. And so this wonderful writing program has been a part of that this year. And these students, I'm so proud of each and every one of you. Y'all have amazed us with your creativity. And I'm looking forward to hearing from each of you tonight as you share your writing with everyone. So thank you again, Rachel and Frankie, for letting me be a part of this.
Yeah, thank you so much. And another person I'd love to thank is Frankie, the teacher for this class, who'll be introducing our authors today. So I will turn it over to her.
Hello. I am 1,300 miles away from all of you guys, but I feel so close. It's good to see all of you guys here. We want to just get right to it with you guys reading. I'll introduce the authors, and then you will read selections from the book. So let's... All right. We will start with our first author, Anselm Allen. Anselm was born in Austin, Texas on December 16th, 1999, and is a member of a family that has produced 2 U.S. presidents, a senator from Indiana, and a signer of the Declaration of Independence. Anselm currently lives in Mena, Arkansas with 3 cats and dogs. Anselm likes writing science fiction, fantasy stories, and mystery fiction. Anselm, if you could just wave to the camera, to the fans. There you go. And we'll get your pieces pulled up here.
Cool morning air, can I mess the epic stare, nor the bear's lair, or the pathetic wear of the fish. From there, it just sort of developed into an actual story piece.
Excellent. And another question, how would you describe your writing style?
Well, I actually try, whenever I try to write a story, I actually try to be meaningful. I actually just try to tie pieces together rather than just do an isolated process. Sometimes it'd be, but I'm trying to work out my flaws too, because sometimes I tend to be too over descriptive and stuff.
Excellent. Great. Is there anything else you wanted to share, Anselm?
Yeah, I mean, at some point, I've written a story called Doom Ship, and I hope it can be published in a magazine. Once I've done the necessary revision processes to it.
We will be on the lookout for it. I know I certainly will be. Thank you. Round of applause, please, for Anselm. Yay! All right. Who we got up next? Oh, Rachel.
I had just a few comments from our Facebook Live audience. So both Brian Boyce and Chase Sayard, if I'm saying his name right, commented on our cover artwork. Love the cover art and looking forward to figuring out where the phrase floodwater comes from. And I love this art. One thing I'll note is that all of the book covers at Cow Tipping, the artwork is sourced from artists with intellectual and developmental disabilities. And this was actually a really cool partnership with the University of Minnesota's Institute on Community Integration Arts Program, where they work with and feature artists with disabilities. So 2 universities on disability studies across the country, or, all the way down the river, working together to put this book together.
Alrighty, up next, our second author is Nasia Brasiers, and Nasia is from Denver, Colorado, writes poetry and more recently short stories. Nasia now lives in Mississippi and has 2 dogs.
Cottage. A wooden cottage is resting in a block of sun, the memories of years gone by reaching out with hollow fingers. Flowers in the garden and steam from the teapot, traveling towards the rafters. The world is covered by a blanket of azure, glinting like a million fireworks, and holding life in its belly like a grand chest.
Is it the last one? Okay. All right. Thank you, Nasia. Okay, so question for you. This one in particular, there's one sentence, but there's so much happening in terms of imagery. I'm wondering, how did you choose the words to go into this piece?
I don't know. I wanted to really paint a picture, but I didn't want to be over descriptive.
What do you visualize either in this piece or your other piece?
Well, in this piece, whenever I read it, I usually visualize like a coral reef and stuff.
I love that. Great. Any other questions from Facebook? Is there anything else you wanted to add about your writing?
No, thank you.
Okay.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. We don't have questions yet from Facebook, though. Our Facebook viewers are a minute behind or so there might be some, and I'll let you know if they come through. A comment for Anselm. He did a great job with his writing and delivery. I enjoyed the story and his voice acting. And that is from Ginger Mortensen. And Joanne wants to know, when will the book be available for purchase? So more copies of the books will be available for purchase on Amazon.com. Those were uploaded today and should be available in just a few days. It takes some time to process, and we'll definitely share that with the university and on our Facebook page as well. You can check them out at cowtippingpress.org. You can also subscribe to Cow Tipping Books if you're interested in reading more from these authors, and we'll send you them in the mail 3 times a year. You'll get 5 books if you subscribe. Makes a great holiday gift. Recommend it. I'll turn it back over to Frankie and the authors now.
Summon books. Great. Thanks, Rachel. Next up, we've got Robert Carley. Robert was born and raised in a small town in Sumrall, Mississippi. His aspirations of illustrations, writing, and fantasy/sci-fi stories he develops is his passion. Robert's admiration for literature began with his obsession of cartoons, Japanese anime, video games, novels, and life experience that contribute to his writing style. A fun fact is Robert loves to hang out with his family, friends, and live life to the fullest. I can vouch for that. His motto for writing for those that inspire to write is, "Let the journey begin," which is a staple in his writing quota in his books and studio motto. His production studio is called Odyssey Studios. Take it away, Robert.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to be on here and to show my pieces that I've made. But can I recommend reading Rainy Day by chance?
that one that you have in the book?
Yeah, raining day.
It's, yeah, rainy, I think.
Yep, at the bottom. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. And Robert, you're welcome to read more than one piece if you'd like.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So I'll start off with Raining Day by Robert Carley. Where have you been? I keep looking for you. The drips of water that come down my face, empty cup. There's nothing but emptiness inside. The clouds come my way and keeps getting dark. I have no place to hide. I feel trapped, lost inside. The gravity of my situation looms in the dark. Where's the raining day? The endless cesspool of water that drops to make it rain. Am I the only one who loves the rain? Keep my tears in check, my emotions out. I can cry. The tears in the rain, raining day.
Robert, is there another one you wanted to read next?
Of course. May I please be able to read Through the Looking Glass?
For sure. Could you tell me which page that one is on?
Page 10.
Thank you.
Of course. All right. Thank you so much. Through the Looking Glass by Robert Carley. The room is cold. The damp air made it uneasy to breathe. The only light source is a candle that is lit on the vanity. A frigid girl in curly, long chestnut hair stares aimlessly at her reflection. A silk garment of Egyptian cotton and dark stripes resemble a zebra. The girl's radiant skin glitters under the moonlight beam beside her window. It is a starry night. It was bitter. She felt seeing herself in the mirror give her respect. Her reflection of someone that understands her, feels what she feels. No secrets. Nothing to hide. She can confine herself to speak about her dull, rigid, and unredefined schedule. The mystery of the girl is certainly unheard, unknown of what conflicts her mind every day. Through the looking glass, everybody's reflection is the essence of their heart and desire.
We have one comment from Ginger again. I love how self-confident these authors are and very professional too. Robert, did you want to read any other of your pieces?
I think I've delivered a great introduction to my pieces, and for those that purchase the book will be surprised.
I love that.
Great. Thanks, Robert. An audible clap for you because I was on mute
Thank
before.
you.
Okay, so there's a lot of feelings happening, especially in this last one. I'm curious what, how do I want to say this? What sort of theme were you trying to get at with this Through the Looking Glass piece?
During our writing session, this is one of the sessions I did during Cal to Be Press. And the activity was to really gather deeply in our emotions, I guess. So in my mind, I like to visualize and I really try to figure out, it's hard to explain how I write or how I do it. But I like to visualize where I imagine I'm this individual, and that's how I'm able to write these things. I can't write unless I can feel it emotionally, visually. I can be there. So I became this mysterious girl. And so I was able to describe her, what's going on, the details in her room. I was able to really be able to tell a story within a story, I guess. Because that is one of my weaknesses, I guess. I struggle explaining things, but if I'm able to project myself into an inanimate object or a person or fiction or anything, I'm able to describe it. So that's where I was able to write Through the Looking Glass. I was able to be this person and feel that she's going through a lot, this mystery girl.
Great. Yeah, I think we all can attest to us feeling that too. So thank you. Is there anything else you wanted to share?
I wanted to say thank you so much for this opportunity, and everybody who's reading these awesome individual pieces. Please support them and support Cal Tipping Press. And thank you again for this opportunity. It was just a blessing.
Thank you, Robert. Beautiful to hear your reading and your reflection on your work. Ginger says, I love the rain too. And Liz Cabela says, very good, Robert. I'll just remind our audience that if you have questions for the authors on who they are or their process, you can feel free to drop those in the chat and we'll make sure to ask them.
So Cameron, our authors Cameron Day and Ajay Hughes are not able to make it tonight, but I want to give them a shout out because they were pillars as are all of our students and authors in our classes, and we couldn't have had the same experience without them. So snaps to those two. But moving on, next up in the alphabet, we have Joni. Joni Inez was born and raised in Mississippi. She enjoys creative writing and learning about plants and animals, which I think you will come to find out in this next book pieces. Take it away, Joni.
Fragmentation. I am fragmentation. I am glass hitting stone. I try to put myself back together, but the string won't hold. I watch as they untether, falling into the waves. Floodwater rises. Fragment swept away. Oceans for miles. I cannot stay. I am fragmentation. I shatter to glass. I will erode, pulled by the current, drifting in the undertow.
Oops.
Joni, would you like to read Wondering and Wandering?
Yes. Wandering and wandering. Wandering is many questions unanswered. It's getting lost in a daydream. It's unclear ideas moving like an unchoreographed dancer. Wandering is a walk through a forest, is an adventure, as if traveling through life as a tourist. Wandering and wandering. Whether you wander through new or old, your mind will begin to wander.
Great. Thank you, Joni. So I noticed in both of your pieces, there's a lot of where you take nature, but you don't just talk about nature. You talk about how the nature makes you feel. I'm curious if you could just talk about that a little more.
Growing up, I've always been able to go wander around in the woods, and so it's always been kind of like more of a safe space.
I love that. Is there something either in this piece or the other piece that you want your readers to feel? I think you're on mute. You're on mute, Joni.
There it goes.
There we go.
When I wrote fragmentation, I wasn't feeling good. I was pretty sure I had the flu. So I think that's kind of conveyed in there.
So if anybody here is sick, I would recommend reading page 2 of our book. You'll feel some camaraderie from our friend Joni. Is there anything else you wanted to add, Joni?
No, thank you.
All right. Any questions from our Facebook group?
Indeed. Questions and comments from Jerry for you, Joni. Very nice, Joni. I could hear your passion in your writing. And he also wants to know, what was your inspiration for your writing?
For fragmentation, it was that I didn't feel good, and for wandering and wandering, Just before that, we had written a different poem, and then the next prompt was to pick one word from the previous poem and write a poem out of it. So that's where Wandering and Wandering came from.
Beautiful. Thank you. And Ginger says, oh, so this is where the title of the book comes from. And indeed, your first piece was our title piece. All of the titles on Couchbing books come directly from pieces in our book that we comb through and match with cover art and play around with. And it's ultimately what we stuck with. And Ginger also asks, so cow tipping is just non-neurotypical writers. Is that correct? And that is correct. We work with authors. We use the words intellectual and developmental disability or neurodiverse. Everybody prefers different language, but anybody who's comfortable with, that label that we use, being in our classes and being published under cow tipping is welcome to take our classes. So we partner with a lot of schools and group homes and day programs for adults with disabilities, and that is indeed our author base.
Up next for authors, we have Adrienne Ramos. Adrienne is from Long Beach in Mississippi and has recently written poetry to expand Adrienne's interests. Adrienne enjoys painting and drawing as a hobby.
Golden rectangle. It's everywhere. A shadow pleasing to the eye. Golden rectangle. It's everywhere. It's in art. It's in nature. It's in us. Golden rectangle. It's a never-ending spiral of good fortune. Golden rectangle. Long Beach, Mississippi. A beach made by man and a community made of kind-hearted people.
Those two, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sweet. Thank you, Adrienne. Okay, so I have two questions for you. The first, what does the golden rectangle symbolize? I have to know.
It's like the golden, like sometimes it's mainly referred to as the golden ratio in like math. It's basically like a spiral inside of a like an infinite spiral inside of a rectangle.
And then my second question, so you're from Long Beach, Mississippi, and you wrote 4 lines about it. I'm curious kind of what went behind writing those 4 lines of your hometown.
Well, I just wrote like that because like one time I heard that the beach of Long Beach was man-made. Like it wasn't like made naturally. And all of the people here that I meet are very nice, very kind. And it's just a lovely town.
Great. Next time I'm there, I will stop by the beach. Anything else you wanted to add, Adrienne?
I think this was a good experience for me to try to expand my interests. But I may not be that good at writing, but it was at least good to try.
I think every single person watching and in this Zoom portion of the live event would disagree with you. You, the author, have 2 amazing pieces in this book. Any questions from Facebook?
Just praise so far. Love the Long Beach poem.
Great. Adrienne, thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you for letting me join you.
All right, up next, who do we got? We have Diego.
Yeah.
Diego's here. Diego Roman is.
Yes.
Diego, I'm gonna introduce you, give everybody the spiel, and then I'll let you read?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So Diego Roman is 23 years old and graduated Gautier High School in 2021. Diego is in the process of obtaining an associate's degree in human services at Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College. Diego is inspired by fiction, especially historical fiction, as it helped expose more ideas, reception, and relatability of writing. All you, my friend.
Yeah, I am going to read H1 piece on the book. Let me know when you guys are ready.
Ready when you are.
As I open my eyes, I ask myself where I am, or perhaps better yet, who I am. A amber walking man approaches and says, I see you are awake. You may have questions. H1, together with H2, you are the two last humans on Earth. Some will destroy them, but you should not think about the details. Much like humans like to say, what is done is done. Yes, you heard me correctly. I am not a human. I am an AI. But I know I don't want to be seen as a robot because that is humanizing. Yeah, I know I am a robot. It doesn't make sense, but life sometimes doesn't make sense. And besides, I am more than that. I am your teacher. I am well versed in philosophy, mathematics, and social science. But you are a robot. It would be better if you were about logic and numbers, not feeling. So here is your first lesson. Like a rainbow with many colors, life has many paths, but I'm choosing to walk my path because my brain is made of zeros and ones. Doesn't mean that I can't show compassion. But the real question is whatever I'm choosing to show compassion. Almost every human conflict ever could have been resolved if enough people were willing to act, but that is enough for now.
Diego, did you want to read another piece?
No, that is fine with me.
Okay, I really love this one. I'm curious, what made you step into a robot and give the robot heart?
Give me a second. Okay, I decided because I cannot. Could you repeat that question to make sure that I get you?
I'm curious why you decided to take a robot and give it a heart.
He doesn't have a heart. But that doesn't stop him to to be what he wants. He doesn't have feelings like you and me, but that doesn't, like he said in the book, that doesn't stop him to do what he wants to be. That is being a human. So what I'm trying to say on my piece is that we are what we choose. That answered your question?
And then some. Thanks, Diego. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, that was all. Thank you.
All right. How about from our audience? What questions do you have? Diego.
Thank you, Diego. Beautiful reading and a really thoughtful answer to that question. Just to back us up a little bit, Ginger says, keep writing, Adrian. So that was for our last author. And then also has a question for you, Diego. Ginger says, I got a sense that H1 may be a bit autobiographical, so about your own life. Is that correct?
No, not really. I didn't write it. I didn't write it with my life. I base a character more like a Pinocchio type, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm curious what's going on with your background.
Give me a second, please.
Somehow that question never came up in class. We just accepted it.
Same every
We just
time.
Yeah, Diego had that every week.
We may have to come back to that question. But thank you so much to Diego. I'll turn it back over to Frankie.
Thanks, Rachel. Okay. Is this our last author already? Huh, that was so quick. Oh man. Okay. Well, last we have Lakin Turner. Lakin Turner is from Sumrall, Mississippi. She fell in love with reading in middle school. She loves watching anime, playing video games, and reading. All you, Lakin, whenever you're ready. Lakin, I think you have a couple pieces in here. Did you want to read one of your pieces? I think you're on mute. Here. Are you cool to read one of them?
Yes.
Okay.
So, what did y'all think about the movie X on X? It was awesome. Nice choice, Roxy. Yeah, there were a lot of surprises that I couldn't do. I have to say, you have to give it to Marvel in their post-credit scenes. And, because we've been watching the movie for years, talking about the latest Marvel movie that came out a couple of days ago. It was around 10:30 at night. The sky was clear and the moon was full. Roxy's favorite night. The parking lot was getting emptier by the minute with people leaving the theater and all around them felt an eerie presence behind them, and it wasn't human. I finally found you, Will. I came across a tough hit, but you guys are the hardest to find. I couldn't track her since, almost to the end, and I couldn't track her phone either, like radio said. Standing on was the right hand man and the mysterious man who took Mark's heart 20 years ago.
Thank you, Lakin. Did you want to read one or both of your other pieces?
One dark, cold night in New York City, when it had last stopped raining, a woman came out of a Chinese board. It was authentic, the sign of knowing it's true. We walked to the end of the sidewalk and saw the camp room. Definitely one of the best birthdays and days in town that the woman would have with her daughter, with her divorce, and her now ex-husband, who was spending the night alone, unlike many other nights he has spent with other women beside his now ex-wife.
Did you want to read the last one?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Lori looks at me with ease. He's lining up another tree outside the forest.
When he don't remember going to the forest or going into the forest. Then he remembers the tall, dark figure that came up against the tree. He was looking for someone, but that's all I really remember.
Yay! Thank you, Lakin. So when I first saw these pieces, I didn't put this together because you had written them one week and then another week and another week. But then when you sent me the transcript, I realized the three of them had a theme that kind of went together of darkness. Is that a theme that you tried to put forth in your writing, or did it just sort of come about?
It just sort of came about.
I love that. Could you talk about one of your favorite pieces and why it's one of your favorites?
The movie theater. The movie theater.
The movie theater one. What made it special for you to write or to read now?
It was friends going to see a movie together.
Yeah, it had been a while since we were able to see a movie. Thank you, and thank you, Lakin, for the appearance or auditorial debut from your dog. Is there anything else that you wanted to share?
No.
Okay, questions?
Yeah, just a couple for you, Lakin. Thanks for closing us out. Beautiful reading. Jerry says, awesome job, Lakin. Ginger says, I like looking for somebody the best. And Jerry wants to know, why do you love writing?
Justin.
Well, I've loved reading it, and I'll close our book out. I'll show the cover one more time. Thank you so much to our audience for tuning in today. Don't forget to order your copies of Floodwater. Stay tuned at cowtippingpress.org, and they'll be available on Amazon. Let's give it up for our authors one more time, and for Frankie. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful work, everybody. It was really such a treat to be able to hear you read your stories, and I'm looking forward to getting to partner again with you all in Mississippi, and maybe even have an in-person reading next year where we can come down. Does anybody, Frankie or Beth or any of the students, have any words you want to close us out with?
I just want to say again how proud I am of each and every one of you, and I do hope people will purchase this special book, because there was more writing included that we did not get to share tonight, and then of course Cameron and Ajay's work as well. So it was just really special. Thank you again for letting me be a part, and y'all keep writing. Don't stop here. Continue writing and pursue getting your other work published that maybe didn't get included in this book. So, and Nacia, I did see your hand.
I don't have a question. I just wanted to thank you guys for the opportunity.
Thanks, Nacia. It was great having you in class. And you all heard Beth. Keep writing, and even the people watching on Facebook. I know, Robert, you have your hand raised, but just really quickly, a lot of you came into our first class. So we all had different levels of writing experience, but a theme that I noticed was, ooh, I don't know about this. This is new. I'm not really sure how to do this. And you came out just weeks later with a whole book that everybody on the screen wrote, which I just got goosebumps saying that, and I will continue to every time I look at this book. So it was a joy working with all of you, and thanks for letting me into your lives. Robert, did you want to say something?
It's like my quote, let the journey begin. Let's start our journeys and see where the future takes us.
Beautiful. Anything else from our authors?
Well, I have this to say, and knowing they have a lot of stories planned out, I had to find out which path suits me best.
All right. Well, you heard that, everybody. Stay tuned on what's next to come from these talented group of authors. Congratulations, all of you. All right, stop
Yay!
the live stream. We're off live. You can pick your nose now. Whatever you gotta do, stretch it out. We don't have an audience anymore. Yeah, it's really, I know I was just kind of a, like off-screen go to the class every now and then, but it was wonderful to get to watch you all write and to get to read the book. And I really, really love these stories. I get to read a lot of books at my job, and I think this one is special. So I hope you all are proud of your work, and you do indeed keep on writing.
Yes, and Frankie, you did an awesome job. So thank you for keeping it together throughout the weeks that we met.
Thank you, Beth. I don't know how much
Keeping us on track.
And I'll just let you all know that this video at the Facebook link that we gave you in that event, it will live on the Couchtipping Facebook page until we close or Facebook closes. So if you had family or friends who didn't get to watch you today, they can watch it back later. And I'll also, as soon as Amazon is just a clunky website to work with when we're uploading our books, but it should be, if everything went right today, it should be available by early next week for people to order. And I'll make sure to get that link to Beth.
Yay, that's awesome. That's so awesome. Can you share with the group, you may have already shared this, how the cover, like you kind of were telling us a little bit earlier about how that came to be?
Yeah, absolutely. So we partner here in Minnesota with different organizations that focus on art work with people with disabilities. In our classes, we're pretty writing focused, but there's a lot of great arts organizations. So rather than kind of reinventing the wheel or doing everything ourselves, we like to stay connected to community and leverage the other really cool work being done. So a couple of different organizations we partner with, and they'll send us scans of artwork, and it's a really fun and really crazy week usually, where we pull like a bunch of 16-hour days, 18-hour days, looking at all the manuscripts, pulling out title options, matching them with a cover. And I've only been to Mississippi once, but I know there's not really, cactus. It's kind of a different landscape, but floodwater just seemed fitting to me. And I loved this artwork we got from an artist who has had artwork up and shown at the University of Minnesota. So that's how this works.
It's really cool. Y'all will see. I mean, I know y'all got it in your background, but when you get your own copies, I know the only person here that got theirs was Taylor, but when y'all get yours, it's really, really cool. I think you will enjoy it.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, you got yours, Adrian. I'm sorry. I forgot Michette because I work with Michette. She got hers.
Okay.
Everybody else, I couldn't get theirs to them. So.
No, great. Thank you again for letting us try out writing.
Thanks for trying it.
I don't think you tried it. I think you nailed it.
I knew you were going to say that, Frankie. Y'all remember what Frankie said the first day? All of you are authors. Like the first day. I thought that was an incredible thing to say, Frankie. Thank you for that.
It's true. I'm not a liar.
Frankie's not a liar. You are all authors. You are all published authors now.
Yeah.
And I will say that, we as Couchtipping, sometimes we go and present to, master's students in creative writing or undergraduate students in English. And we show them pieces from Couchtipping books. And, even though you all may not be in these kind of 4-year or beyond writing programs, a lot of times that's what allows you to have such a fresh perspective and creative voice. And we've had master's students say I'm so jealous, how'd they come up with this and who's that by? And then we tell them, this is for Couchtipping. It's an organization publishing neurodiverse authors. And yeah, if you have to go, you all feel free to hop off. But really, this writing is phenomenal. So congratulations.
Excuse me. Bye, everybody. Have a nice
Bye,
week.
Adrian.
Bye, Adrian.